We are back on Highway 192. I told you guys we still have plenty to see and do on this stretch of road near Walt Disney World. Today, we are heading to a place that also had the name World in it. On Highway 192, you have different worlds. You have Walt Disney World, Camping World, even Orange World. But today, we are going to find the former home of a little place called Shell World. We are going to see what remains of Shell World today. Hi everybody and welcome to the World of Micah. Today we're going to be checking out the former home of Shell World, which is exactly what you think. It was a gift shop here on Highway 192. It also had a museum inside. They had several vehicles in the parking lot, decked out, completely covered in seashells. Now it is a non-profit organization, a non-profit foundation here on Highway 192. So I'm not going to get too close. Don't want to really disturb the business, but I do want to show you guys what remains of Shell World. If you're new here, click that subscribe button. It'll keep you updated on my latest video. And if you would like to support my channel, down below in the description box is a link. It'll take you to my Patreon page. Now let's travel back and see what remains of Shell World. Now, let's take a closer look. Good old Highway 192 in Kissimmee, Florida. Tons of tourist shops, gift shops, roadside attraction, dinner shows, people honking their horn in the former home of Shell World. Now it is Cayman Academy for the Performing Arts Behavioral Services Nonprofit Foundation. At one point, this was also the School of Nursing. You can see on the building it still says School of Nursing. But this was Shell World. I have a few photographs. We're going to match them up and see what remains here. Here's a photograph. You guys can see exactly what it looked like. It said Shell World in blue and white stripe going across the front of the building. And out front, I believe they had all kinds of different things covered in shells, like things you could see as far as the gift shop goes. They had some vehicles out here as well. Somewhere around in here parked was what they called the Shellmobile. There were over 10,000 shells in 174 varieties. They were all glued to this 1973 VW Bug. They had it parked out here for everyone to see. The artist who did this was named Steve Orn. And yes, the VW Bug did work. They would drive it around town to promote Shell World. Now, not only did this place provide a gift shop on the inside where you could buy pretty much anything shell-wise that you were looking for, they had a free museum. You could walk through a free museum all pertaining to shells. But this is the front entrance to Shell World right here. I'm going to insert a photograph. You guys can see what it looked like on the inside. This was like one of the only photographs I could find of the inside of Shell World. Seems like this little area has been added. This used to be what it looked like. It kind of, the roof came out. It was a little underhang. But right there it would say Shell World on it. And the sign here, the top portion of the sign is original to Shell World. The only difference is, back in the day, there was a little shell hanging out right here. I'll show you guys a photograph so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Here's actually some remains from the little thing holding the shell. You can see the rocks right here, and this little piece would come up and there was a giant shell attached to it underneath the Shell World sign. This is what the sign used to look like. You can see the top portion's the same, and where it used to light up and it would say different things across. The little screen right here is still here. This is where it once said Shell World. But these little lights right here are the same, and right there was where that little shell was in the photograph. That's what I was talking about with all that stuff that's remaining down there. Pretty amazing. This was the sign. They just kept the little top portion here, and they just changed the little bottom part right there. I wonder if it still says Shell World, because that's just wrapped in like a banner. I wonder if it still says Shell World under there. The world may never know. Here's another side angle of the building so you can see what I'm talking about. How they've added the front entrance to extend out. This was Shell World though. Kind of amazing to me that this whole place doesn't exist. Now I know at one point they moved down the street and then they completely left the area of Highway 192. Gonna walk around the perimeter of the building here. Don't want to get too close. I don't know if they're even open or not. I want to see if there's any remains. I would love to find a shell that was left out here from Shell World. That's the part I'm talking about that they've extended out. It used to not be like that when this was Shell World, but this looks the same from some images that I found, but they've repainted it. I believe it used to be like a gray, just a natural color. But there's all kinds of extended parking out here and some deep woods over in this area. Gonna walk around. There seems to be a lot of cameras on the side of this building, but I didn't see any no trespassing signs or anything. Plus I'm just walking around looking for remains of something that used to be a roadside attraction here. Wonder if these guys even know that this was Shell World at one point. Got an old bus out here. That thing's pretty awesome. I knew some people who were in bands back in the day who would buy buses like this and convert them into like tour buses. They'd take out all the benches and put bunk beds and all kinds of stuff in those things. It's pretty cool. My band had a conversion van and then we had a 16-passenger van when we were on the road. But that's a different story and another day. I'm not really seeing anything too crazy back here. I was wondering if there was going to be anything left. You know, any signage or anything. There's just a little hill right here. Nothing on the side. They've probably painted all over everything and covered it all up. Nothing really here from Shell World. Nothing even painted on the ground that says Shell World parking or anything like that. Glad I found those photographs. There is not much online pertaining to Shell World. In fact, I couldn't even find like an opening day or a closing date online. I did see on their website that the company that used to run this place, I believe it said they were celebrating like 26 years or something in business, but that was like in 2011 when they updated like the website and everything. So who knows how long. If you know, comment, let me know if you have any information about Shell World, anything at all pertaining to Shell World. I'm very interested. These are the kind of things I like. So comment, let me know. Nothing remaining of shells. I was hoping I could see some shells embedded somewhere. I'm right up here at the front entrance. Not seeing anything, man. I think this is all we're gonna find, what I've shown so far. But the shell of the building's still here and the sign, so two things still remain. Right across the street here is the Monte Carlo Inn, so you could have stayed there and then walked across. Got yourself some shells. Well, I think that's it. I think that's all we're gonna find of Shell World. not completely let down. There's just a few things remaining, but nothing too crazy. But I'm glad I documented this so we can see if anything else ever happens to this place. We can see what it looked like after Shell World. Well, thankful for the internet, because I wouldn't have been able to find those few photographs of the VW Bug, the front of the building, the sign, and the little bit of information that I could find about this place, including it talking about there being a museum that was free, that you could walk through. I never got to come to Shell World, ever. But when I saw the logo, I remember seeing it, so I'm pretty sure they made t-shirts and there were billboards and stuff promoting when this was Shell World. But now, it's a thing of the past, and that's why I did this video of what remains of Shell World. I've been traveling around 192 for a while, trying to find all the old roadside attractions, old dinner shows, and just show what remains of what used to be here. If you enjoyed this episode, please give me a big thumbs up. The big thumbs up button's down here somewhere. All my links are down below. I'll see you guys tomorrow on a brand new episode of World of Micah. Until then, stay weird. Goodbye.